Hello, dear people, big and small. This is FayeTv, and today I'm addressing the question if people who have the reputation of being lonely are actually lonely. This idea was inspired by a phrase on the internet saying a whale is making calls at 52 hertz. And 52 hertz is an unusual frequency, but this unusual picture in my head was right away the whale is making calls. And there was a vivid discussion on the internet if you're humanizing this whale too much by believing it just sings on the wrong frequency and therefore is lonely. Fact is, no one has ever physically seen this animal. Nobody has ever asked it if it's lonely. But I've been asked a lot if I'm lonely because I'm writing so much stuff on the internet. And actually, I must say I'm not. I have friends, I have family, and the internet is just one of many channels of saying, hello, anybody there? And here I was imagining my whale is getting an answer from a tiger dolphin in Dimanumorm, which is the country inside me. Like my brother and me made that up when we were teenagers, but it was much more than just a made up country. It was sort of a means to express our own perception of the world. And it is part of this perception that there can be species that nobody has seen, such as a tiger dolphin. I have tried to draw a map numerous times. I don't know if it has any particular purpose to make this look like a cake diagram, but you have to kind of imagine Ecuador here and Galapagos here. And you don't see this peninsula because there is a volcano on it, and that volcano spits a chemical that doesn't exist in the period table and doesn't exist anywhere else in the world. That is like bluish green like the sea, and it's called silas or Yikarandinapin. And it has some calming effects on people. Sort of like what you would call today ADHD medicine. So drawing back into that country that officially doesn't exist probably helped me to cope with my own ADHD. Before I made that up, I had a little hole in my hair here because I was constantly ripping my hair out. And of course, years later, I found out that this world perception of Dimanumorm is also linked to autism. If Silas can surround a whole country like a diver spell, it also can surround me like a diver spell. Calm me down, give me better communication, give me better attention to details, give me surroundings with clear rules. Those are actually supposed to be horses from a bird perspective, and every horse has its own racetrack. Everything is very orderly, so you can really show your skills. In Dimanumorm, family structures also have equal rights. And that also means that children get responsibility at a very young age. Something that was missing in my early life because of the disability, because everybody kept me out of all processes, well intending, but not necessarily doing the best that was possible. But I never lost hope because I got my hope flower. A hope flower is the Manomorm's answer to a cactus. And I didn't have a red pen at hand, but it's beautiful, beautifully blood red, crimson red, all shades of red, and it smells like vanilla and pepper and plums. And it's called hope flower because the more it's trampled, the more flowers it brings forth. Well, of course, the Manomorm also has a lot of interesting animals. This is the world's tallest horse, 2 meters and 10. And it behaves basically like an autistic person. It defends territories. It only gets attached to very few people, but deeply to those. And it is, like many autists, very intelligent and always wants a challenge to its brain, which makes it a very tricky pet. So if anyone in the Manomorm considers keeping a pet volcano horse, well, you just need a huge chessboard, a huge garden, and a lot of patience, and a lot of ideas to constantly challenge this horse. Here we have money, because like even a dream country doesn't necessarily live without money. It is just the mentality of the Manomorm to handle resources better. And that's why actually this horse is on the money, because it is a picture of a god who is called Kelau, who watches over people so they don't waste the resources. And if you are really, really poor and you don't have anything anymore, then you can go into the desert and visit this statue of this horse god, like he's the wind god and horses run like the wind. So you can get one really precious stone, and this stone is called Barakash. And if you sell one Barakash, you just are a rich man, rich woman for the rest of your life. Also because of the experience of having visited Kelau. Because that is at least supposed to make you feel humble. Make you feel aware of the sparse resources in the country. When we made this up, or when it crushed into our minds, I would much rather say, my brother and I, we kind of, maybe subconsciously, were working through the idea of a better European Union, because this crushed in our heads in the mid-90s, when there were a lot of discussions about how like a common currency and stuff could look. So, and this is still my idea, how the world could look to some extent if we include people's talents more than their defects, and if we are good to our resources, because our resources are limited. Have a nice night and dare to dream. Bye.